Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you are at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting live on float.app. That's flote.app at 9:06 in the morning, a little later than normal. And it's a weekend, it's a Saturday. I slept in, yeah, and the kids are at the grandparents' house. My wife had a bunko party, a ladies' bunko party. So I hid in my room last night, hid in my little office here last night, and just worked on stuff and studied up and doing all the things that well, not I guess not a lot of people, normal people, do on a Friday night, I guess. It was a good Friday night for me, that's for sure. But anyway, so yeah, it is November 20th, 2021, and I'm broadcasting from Leander, Texas. This is my video blog, aka Brain Dump, and my morning brain dump. And I just basically just kind of let loose a lot of the stuff that I've learned from the day before through books, podcasts, videos, articles, and stuff like that. That I try to read up and study every single day. And this show is my morning blog show, just to kind of document my progress as I move through this space and learn about concepts and in the crypto space, and also about my technical knowledge about how to do video and audio production as well. And as you can see, I have a different setup today, and I'm testing out some new software, trying to spruce up the look, make it look a little more professional and stuff like that. I don't know how professional I can be though, but yeah. But yeah, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm not shilling anything, and I'm not bumming money from you. Let's see. Yeah, it's not financial advice for sure. I'm not your teacher, so I'm not here, giving primers and lessons and how to do this and how to do that. So don't use this as a source. It's just entertainment. That's it. I'm just a dude with the camera talking about crypto. All right. So yeah, I would. Yeah, yeah. If anybody has been watching my videos, they know that me looking at this CoinGecko chart is not exactly a top example of of technical analysis here. So Bitcoin, $58,695.23. Let me just refresh this, make sure that this is accurate. I don't think I've refreshed it this morning. $58,667, $57.09. It's below 60,000. I mean, I never thought I would say this, but now seems like it would be a good time to buy Bitcoin. I bought some yesterday. I got my paycheck and I doubled up on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and I bought some Avalanche as well. I know Avalanche has been pumping up lately. A lot of the DeFi app movements, and people going on to layer ones and playing on DeFi apps, they went to Polygon, they've been on Arbitrum, and then a lot of them have migrated. A lot of them are migrating over to Avalanche right now. There's some pretty cool apps, which I'll be talking tomorrow with CryptoFoo about some of these apps on these dApps on Avalanche blockchain. So anyway, Ethereum's at 4,302.87. Binance 588.48. Tether is $1 stablecoin. Solana 213.16. Cardano $1.91. Cardano. XRP $1.09. Polkadot 41.16. USDC dollar bills, y'all. Doge 23 cents. Avalanche has moved up above the Sheebs. That is so awesome. That's so welcome. I'm glad to see Avalanche going up there. Somebody made a funny yesterday in Twitter, and I had to where was this bookmark? Oh man. Okay, maybe I didn't. Yeah, maybe I think even Charles Hoskinson said this. No, he didn't say it. I don't know. But anyway, they made a statement that everybody's moving to L2s, Polygon, Arbitrum, Avalanche, and people are like, wait, in Cosmos, and they're like, wait, Avalanche and Cosmos, they're just trolling, Avalanche and Cosmos aren't layer twos, of course, people have to take it literally. Like the point just goes over their head. It's because Avalanche and Cosmos are bridging to Ethereum layer one with their EVM compatibility and stuff like that. And that is what they're basically referring to, is everything is leading to Ethereum layer 1 and bridging to it. And so Ethereum layer 1 is kind of this commonality between all these layer 2 solutions, and even other Ethereum killer blockchains are now all pointing to Ethereum. And I know I'm a little Ethereum heavy on all this stuff. So, yeah, I'm not ETH maxi by any means, but I like to look at other chains and stuff like that. But yeah, I do believe that ETH layer 1 is going to be the fundamental basis for all these other blockchains. Now, people say, oh, Bitcoin's its own deal over there. Bitcoin is the source of truth, the one, the only, the OG store of value. Yeah, it is virtual. I mean, even this, some high muckety muck from the Federal Reserve the other day did say that Bitcoin is a store of value asset comparable to gold. So yeah, Avalanche, Shiba Inu, Terra, 4332, Litecoin 22057. Let's see, Crypto.com making waves, moving on up. They're using also their new Kronos blockchain is built using the Cosmos SDK, again, making it interoperable and compatible with the Ethereum virtual machine. And, so yeah, Chainlink 2840. Let's see here. I wanted to take a look. Here's Cosmos 2862, and down 10%. Everything's down on the red a little bit, except for like Avalanche here in Crypto.com, because they've had reasons to pump lately. Let's see. So Decentraland's up 22.7. I wanted to take a quick look at Zcash, actually. And so Zcash, I said it. The privacy coin, proof of work privacy coin. It's an old coin. Well, it's not really old, but it's been around since 2016. And it's it's based off the Bitcoin code. I don't know if it's a fork of Bitcoin or not. I think it might be, but let's see here. It says 177.84, and it's proof of work. So there are miners. The majority of people that are into Zcash are in it as miners, and so they and then they dump it. And then that's the whole point of Zcash in a lot of ways, although it is a privacy coin, and a lot of people want Zcash to be used as your common every single day privacy currency. But right now, just like with several of these other proof of work blockchains, it's just basically one of those that you see the option whenever you're looking at coins to mine. If you have some mining software and you're like, I'll do Zcash, but you can't mine it with GPUs anymore. So even if I wanted to mine Zcash, I would not be profitable with it right now with my 2 GPUs in my computer. I would have to have some sort of ASIC miner. But the reason I'm talking about Zcash here is because I saw right here, Barry Silbert, it says, looks like Zcash is moving to proof of stake. So yeah, that's I was like, what? Like Ethereum is proof of work to proof of stake in 2022 to 2025 here. Let's check out some of the comments. Damn, I was really hoping there would at least be one solid private by default alternative to Monero down the road. And then somebody says, better check out Pirate Chain. They use ZK Snark Tech and are private by default, thus having the largest end onset. And let's see here. So let's see. Had to triple check this was the real Barry. So a lot of people are just like, whoa, man, this is crazy stuff. And for the proof of work maximalists, this is tough to digest. So proof of stake amongst many other upgrades coming soon. The ZK Cash roadmap. So Halo Thorchain integration, Trezor shielded support, ZSAs, which I'll talk about all this stuff here in a second. But it's basically a way to bring other tokens from other blockchains in as Zcash shielded asset, I believe is what that stands for, in order to put them on the Zcash blockchain for privacy. So you could have, say for instance, Ethereum and bridge it over to Zcash to have some privacy on there. Anyway, so let's go take a look at this article, shall we? Okay, so first I want to look at this older article, August 3rd, 2021. should Zcash switch from proof of work to proof of stake? This was the original kind of, the lube before they just ram this new thing down our throats here, that or some other places. But as I open a banana, anyway, so Zcash switched from proof of work to proof of stake. Zcash was created to provide economic and social freedom for everyone. For some time, we at Electric Coin Company, so Electric Coin Company is basically like the company that is a research, a scientific discovery, technology type of firm that writes all this code, and they have created Zcash. Although they are not in charge of the governance of Zcash, the Zcash community is in charge of that. The Electric Coin Company does a lot of the development work, kind of like the Ethereum Foundation, like Arbitrum, Off-Chain Labs built Arbitrum, but they are not in control of Arbitrum. So yeah, it's kind of a similar type of deal. Hold on, there we go. All right. So first of all, such decisions are not up to ECC, Electric Coin Company. We make scientific discoveries, create cutting edge technology, and write software that implements it. Whether Zcash itself changes is determined by whether the Zcash community chooses to run that software, and ultimately whether people around the world choose to accept and value the Zcash coins the software enables. Zcash has been proof of work since its inception, which resulted in a wide distribution of Zcash to people in all corners of the world. Originally, it was possible for GPU miners to mine the new Zcash, but in 2018, Bitmain released specialized Zcash hardware miners, ASICs, that made GPU miners obsolete. Now, why is this a deal? What that does is it raises the level of cost and technical savoir-faire and knowledge in order to be able to mine. So it makes it more difficult as an entry, and it kind of creates a centralization point. And that's been a huge criticism of Bitcoin and some other proof of work mining systems, including Zcash, as to the decentralization of it. A lot of people say, well, Bitcoin's centralized because a lot of that mining, was in China, and it was all done by, extremely wealthy people who could afford to set up all this and maintain all these mining farms. And so using this highly technical, sophisticated software, you could no longer just fire up your computer with a GPU in it and mine Bitcoin for yourself. And the same applies to Zcash nowadays. That is the whole point of Ravencoin. It's another proof of work fork of Bitcoin. Ravencoin is what I'm mining now in my computer, and it uses the Cow-Pow algorithm in order to be able to mine, which creates it allows everybody it allows everybody to mine using GPUs, and ASICs will never make a difference. Whether you're mining on an ASIC or a GPU, it will not make any difference whatsoever using the Cow-Pow mining algorithm. So that's a way that Ravencoin has attempted to address this issue of people buying all this like super heavy duty, artillery in order to be able to mine this stuff to give them an advantage. The Cow-Pow algorithm allows them to, it doesn't matter what type of equipment they have, all are equal when mining. But Zcash is approaching this in a different way. They are talking about moving over to proof of stake to counteract this. Zcash has been proof of work since its inception, which has resulted in a wide distribution of Zcash to people in all corners of the world. And this also is one of the reasons why Ethereum has been moving from proof of work to proof of stake as well. So you hear Ethereum 1.0 and Ethereum 2.0 and the merge and everything that happens. And then after Ethereum 2.0 merges and Ethereum 1.0 merges to Ethereum 2.0, hardcore Ethereum maximalists don't like to use the words 1.0 or 2.0 because it's kind of a mesh of both of them combining into one. But once Ethereum moves on to proof of stake, it should be more affordable for people to be able to run validator nodes. Even though it still takes 32 Ethereum, you can still join things like Rocket Pool and stuff like that. And you can run a node using 16 Ethereum using the Rocket Pool apparatus. So anyway, back to Zcash. It's been proof of work since its inception, which resulted in a wide distribution of Zcash to people in all corners of the world. So that is one good thing. But the GPUs, the ASICs made GPUs miners obsolete. The Zcash Foundation led conversations with the community, who then decided not to move forward with changes that would make the protocol ASICs resistant. So that's what Ravencoin did. Today, we believe that almost all Zcash mining is done with ASICs miners. While there are many who prefer proof of work, and there are proof of work purists out there, I believe that proof of stake would make Zcash more valuable to the people. The benefits are great, and they far outweigh the drawbacks and risks. Here's why. Switching to proof of stake eliminates the downward pressure on the price of Zcash and adds additional utility for Zcash. This is important because Zcash is the engine. The Zcash coin is the engine driving the sustainable growth necessary to provide economic and social freedom for everyone. Zcash also enables capture resistance. No adversary can buy off the Zcash community or redirect Zcash to serve its own special interests, because the Zcash coin aligns all of us around a shared mission. With proof of work, miners must sell the coins they've earned to pay their cost. The electricity and ASICs and electricity are both expensive. There's a constant downward pressure on the price of Zcash and a matching upward pressure on the price of electricity and ASICs. There's a sense in which the economics of proof of work force all miners to become ASIC and electricity maximalists eventually. So today, Zcash proof of work miners receive $300,000 worth of coins every day, almost all of which they have to sell. Over the course of 1 year, that adds up to about $100 million worth of tokens that are just sold. In proof of stake, miners can keep the coins they've earned and become long-term investors, Zcash holders. This would greatly add fuel to the fire of our shared mission. Yeah, thanks to Darren Robinson from Paradigm for teaching me this important perspective. Okay, proof of stake adds utility to Zcash, giving people an additional thing they can do with it. Today, people use Zcash to buy goods and services at 500,000 retail locations around the world. I know, and not necessarily in the United States, but I believe in South America, Zcash is pretty popular in a lot of countries, and I believe in Argentina and Venezuela. So today, people use Zcash to buy goods and services at 500,000 retail locations around the world to save their wealth against inflation and profligate central banks, to decentralize social networks, and to exchange love notes on the blockchain. Wow. Staking would add another option, contributing to the public good by processing and confirming other people's encrypted transactions and earning a reward for doing so. The more utility Zcash has, the greater the demand for it. So people worldwide believe that our Earth is being destroyed by global warming, and the energy used for proof of work mining exacerbates that. Yeah, I'm not sure I totally believe that. What is really destroying the Earth is this huge military industrial complex and the amount of energy our current banking system uses and all that stuff. Not just some people mining some Bitcoin. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. There are many people that have diverse opinions about whether proof of work has a negative effect on climate, including many of us within the Zcash community. Regardless of your opinion on this matter, a huge swath of the population will always refuse to accept or use a coin based on proof of work when more energy efficient alternatives exist. Yeah. And so, if you're out there shopping for coins and you do have the environment on your mind, you see this one over here, that's proof of work and it uses a bunch of energy. And then you see this one over here that's clean and it's proof of stake. You probably pick the proof of stake one if you're just kind of not super tribal and loyal to one specific project or concept. And for Zcash to reach its potential as the global standard of money, it needs to be acceptable and useful to as many people as possible. If I believe that proof of work was necessary for economic and social freedom, then I would fight for that. But I don't, and I believe that switching to proof of stake is a win-win-win, and in fact, it's the best way to provide economic and social freedom for everyone. So then proof of stake provides much better security at a lower cost. So yeah, if proof of work miners were to defect and attack the system instead of supporting it, the community would only have two choices. They could suck it up and let them get away with it. And apparently this has happened many times. I'm curious. Let me just see real quick if I can scan this article and see who did this. Oh yeah. And the hack, the DAO hack, the Ethereum Classic. Oh, attacker stole 870K. Okay, never mind. No, that's not the hack, but yeah, an Ethereum Classic attack, which is, yeah, wow. I did not know this. Attacker stole 807K in Ethereum Classic and Ethereum Classic 51% attack. So this is even after the DAO hack, and Ethereum Classic has had a hard go of it. So anyway, yeah. So I'll save that for another episode. It seems like a whole rat's nest of information. Resulting in irrecoverable thefts from the users. Or okay, and then option number two, if the miners were to defect, it would destroy the value of all mining ASICs in the world by changing the proof of work mining algorithm, thus punishing the proof of work miners who loyally supported the protocol right along with the ones who attacked it. The latter has also happened to proof of work coins in practice. In contrast, if proof of stake, if stakers attack the system, they can slash only the coins of those stakers that participated in the attack. This is important. This in turn means that in proof of work mining, the community has to overpay for security because they can't credibly threaten to punish defecting miners. So instead, they have to promise large future rewards to the miners to keep them loyal. So you gotta pay them off, basically. In proof of stake, the community can get better security, including economic finality, in which you can be sure that a payment you receive won't be forked away, and performance at a much lower cost. Because the bad actors, they'll just be cut, man. They'll be slashed, and it'll be done automatically. If they aren't a reliable validator node. So proof of stake provides a way for large numbers of Zcash holders to become Zcash users. Holders become users either by passively earning income by staking their coins or by actively running validator nodes and earning income that way. When Zcash ASICs came along and rendered Zcash GPU mining untenable, the Zcash lost an estimated 90% of its user base. So once it got too difficult to mine and you had to have all this expensive equipment and high energy costs, they lost 90% of its user base. It just became a total miner nerd token. People just, they see no other value in the token, no loyalty to it whatsoever. They just want to mine it and dump it. That's it. So Zcash lost an estimated 90% of its actual user base, the people that use the token. But even after that loss, Zcash remains one of the most widely used and most heavily used coins in the world. Like I said, maybe not so much in the United States here, but in other countries, Zcash is definitely widely used. Providing a way for Zcash holders to engage with and profit from Zcash coin could increase the user base by 10x, or the DeFi boom is in any indication, even more. This would be a huge benefit for the usefulness, demand, and network effect for Zcash. Let's see here. Proof of stake increases the demand for Zcash because it supports novel use cases. The Zcash community are rapidly moving towards Zcash shielded assets. And this is what I was talking about earlier. This would provide the ability for any other token to live as a guest token on the Zcash blockchain and benefit from the Zcash network's unique advantages. But how would that benefit Zcash holders? And therefore, how would it support the continuation and growth of the mission? With the right economic model, fees collected from users hosting other assets in Zcash shielded pools will directly benefit Zcash stakers and drive additional demand for Zcash. And then it provides a voice for the coin holders. Basically, it provides a governance token. Zcash has already one of the most, if not the most, effective and decentralized governance process in the world of crypto. But as demand for the economic and social freedom continues to increase worldwide and the Zcash project continues to scale up to match, I believe we can further decentralize and strengthen the governance process. Let's see here. And proof of stake is more decentralized, attack and capture resistant, and egalitarian. In proof of work mining, only the biggest and most well-funded mining operations can consistently turn a profit. So unless you're some kind of multimillionaire and you're building some huge mining farm. Previously, most of it was in China, and people called that a centralized choke point. Now, a lot of it has moved over to the United States, to Scandinavia, and to other countries in the world. And now that China has, clamped down on crypto regulations, but that still hasn't really affected the price all that much, which is incredible. So it just goes to show you can't shut down cryptocurrency through regulation. But anyway, smaller participants with all these huge mining farms and the cost of all this stuff, they're driven out with proof of work. With proof of stake, even a small time Zcash holder can participate and profit without revealing the location or identity to anyone. So yeah, I got a couple GPUs in here with proof of stake. Then I'll start mining some Zcash. I mean, mining Ravencoin is good enough, but I mean, I'd like to mine Zcash. It's a privacy coin. Bottom line for me, the author, is that switching from Zcash from proof of work to proof of stake offers many huge improvements to the utility, security, and decentralization of the Zcash network, and to the utility and demand for the Zcash coin. So they look forward to hearing from the Zcash community. So it goes to show here that it did pass, and so here is the article on November 19th, yesterday. Roadmap calls for focus on wallet, proof of stake, and interoperability. In summary, in support of our strategy to deliver a world-class user experience for Zcash, Electric Coin Company has been working through product roadmap planning driven by the evolution of the internet, industry research, community sentiment, and market opportunities. Specifically, our research has focused on commercial wallet models and user experience, Zcash, shielded assets, proof of stake, and cross-chain interoperability. So it's happening, folks. Based on that work, it has become clear that the best way for ECC to contribute to the Zcash community over the next 3 years is to release an official ECC wallet on top of a highly interoperable Zcash protocol that leverages proof of stake consensus. I'm wondering, and I haven't really seen this in these articles, how they're going to do this, because Ethereum, the merge has taken a couple years. I mean, this looks to be a 3-year process. I wonder if they're going to be taking some of what the Ethereum Foundation has learned by doing this Ethereum merge from 1.0 to 2.0, using the beacon chain and all that stuff. I wonder if they're going to be taking some of those similar parallels. And it'll be fascinating to watch this and to compare it to how the Electric Coin Company approaches moving from proof of work to proof of stake versus how Ethereum has been doing it. This blog provides context, our rationale, and for our decisions in a high-level 3-year roadmap. We fully expect others in the Zcash community to have a vision for and deliver on the community priorities, which may include support for ZSAs. All right, so Zcash and the future of the internet. The next generation of the internet, colloquially known as Web 3.0, is upon us. In this new internet, each individual is web sovereign. There are no centralized gatekeepers to decide who can participate. There are no kingmakers who determine who wins and who loses. People are gaining more control over their information. It's a world where everything can be proven without unnecessary disclosure. In Web 3, a person can bypass banks and their underwriters and get a loan from dozens of or hundreds or thousands of other people around the world who choose to loan assets at some rate that everyone agrees upon, or at least 2 people agree upon for sure. It's a place where a person can offer up collateral of a certain value without disclosing what that collateral is, and where a person can store collateral in shielded pools without disclosing who owns it. It's a place where someone can prove they've paid off a loan without ever revealing who they are or how much was loaned. Because Zcash is anonymous and it's private. And, some people will start to get into the subtleties of saying, well, Monero is more anonymous, Pirate Chain is more anonymous, and start nitpicking. But either way, they all value anonymity and privacy, which is good. And a lot of these other blockchains, while they're quick, they're scalable, they're fast, but they're not really private. And using the ZSAs and then being able to nest, I guess, your currency inside the Zcash environment would allow that privacy to happen. But I'm moving ahead of myself. So banks and credit card companies, as we know them, are becoming less and less necessary. Anyone can earn yield with or without a custodian. This revolution reaches beyond finance. Increasingly, people are using both special purpose and composable solutions that span domains and blockchains. So yes, being able to use those ZSAs and nest your currency inside this is an example of composability, where you use Lego blocks to combine different aspects of different blockchains. And that's what I was talking about earlier about other blockchains kind of jokingly being a layer two. It's just composability of taking the best bits of a bunch of different type of blockchains and layer two solutions and combining them in apps and dApps and in blockchains themselves in order to create the best solution. So yeah, increasingly people are using both special purpose and compose solutions that span domains and blockchains. It's becoming a collaborative system where people work with one another because it's in their own best interest. The internet will rely on a fabric of interoperability where distributed capabilities will be composable in multi-chain applications. So yeah, there's not going to be one Ethereum killer or one blockchain to rule them all. It's not a hierarchy like that. That's what people don't get, and this is what is being shown in practicality with DAOs nowadays. You don't need that top-down hierarchical structure anymore. That's not the way the world is moving towards working. The internet will rely on a fabric of interoperability where distributed capabilities will be composable in multi-chain applications. This doesn't mean all systems must share data with all systems. In some cases, we only may need to prove a fact to another system while we rely on a zero-knowledge cryptography for granular privacy. In this internet, Zcash will be a critical means for economic good and used in solutions that protect privacy and liberty. But for that to happen, we need to work together to make it easy for Zcash to be used within and across this new fabric. So yeah, they talk about their mission. I've talked about a lot of this stuff in that previous article, but so Zuku, who wrote that last article, introduced the possibility and benefits of moving Zcash from proof of work to proof of stake in a blog post earlier this year. Benefits include the reduction in downward pressure on the price of Zcash, as most miners immediately liquidate Zcash for Bitcoin or fiat today. The shift will also increase the utility for Zcash through capabilities that include yield generation through staking and a possible path to on-chain governance mechanisms for Zcash holders. And then we experienced the impact of the introduction of ASIC miners to Zcash in 2018. The amount of activity on the Zcash chain quickly dropped by 80% as many Zcashers were forced to abandon their GPU miners as their means for acquiring Zcash. The interest in earning Zcash from mining-related activities remains strong today. The ECC has been surveying visitors to the z.cash and ECC sites for several months. Over 50% of visitors to z.cash and 20% of the ECC's site have self-identified as miners. So it's really only the nerdy miners who are interested in Zcash right now. And they want to move beyond that. They want to make it accessible and interesting to as many people as possible. There are other benefits to moving proof of stake, which include because the miners are not going to be loyal to Zcash. They don't care. They just want to make that profit. They want to mine, they want to make the profit, and they want to dump it, and convert it to money that they can use. So there are other benefits from moving to proof of stake, which include the reduction of the Zcash energy footprint, providing a possible path to on-chain governance mechanisms. So they would have a voice, and support for interoperability by addressing problems with proof of work transaction finality, among other reasons further discussed below. So shortly after that article that I just read before, ECC CTO Nate Wilcox outlined what a transition might look like and the possible next steps. And the community weighed in across various mediums, signaling support to move. It was the #1 priority in the ECC coin holder survey. And so everybody basically wanted it, and it was strongly supported in social media. They did a survey and it came out positive. So while the Zcash ecosystem is growing in capability, we believe the ECC is uniquely positioned to do this challenging work with the quality and speed at which it should be accomplished. So yeah, we believe the shift to proof of stake is achievable within 3 years if we were to focus our time and efforts on higher talent. So interoperability, here's where I was talking about that ZSA. And as highlighted above, we believe Zcash will be a critical element for the newly emerging internet as we consider moving to proof of stake, with some interesting options emerge that make cross-chain interoperability more accessible more quickly. For example, the use of a platform such as the Cosmos stack to support proof of stake brings with it the potential to make Zcash more transportable across chains and unlocks innovation as other developers and organizations can build on a well-known stack for Zcash. So this is the composability I was talking about, the ability to use the best parts of other types of blockchains in order to combine them together to make something that will work. So they're going to use the Cosmos, because Cosmos has the IBC, the inter-blockchain communication protocol, that allow different blockchains to talk to each other. So they would use that to support proof of stake, and it brings to make Zcash more transportable across chains and unlocks innovations. By leveraging a highly trusted and used platform such as Cosmos to move Zcash to proof of stake, we would immediately realize the benefit of cross-chain interoperability with other projects participating on the platform. So yeah, you can then use the ZSA, the nesting thing that I was talking about. So we also explored other areas of interest to the community, but elected to exclude them from the ACC roadmap. That does not mean Zcash community should abandon them. On contrast, we trust that if there's a market need, others in the community will rise up to deliver more than ECC is able to deliver on its own. So these include Zcash shielded assets, ZSAs, programmability, and scaling. So we spent a considerable amount of time on ZSAs and released an accompanying post on our findings. While there are exciting possible for ZSAs, we believe that it is best for ECC to focus on the roadmap. Okay. All right. So ZSAs are those basically the Zcash shielded assets where you take another token from another blockchain and you bring it over to the Zcash blockchain to give it privacy, and then Zcash would collect the fees for bringing that privacy, kind of rented privacy, to those fees would be paid to the Zcash community and the validators. So anyway, so programmability is another area of interest for the ECC and others in community, which means smart. So while the potential side is high, we believe building interoperable bridges to other smart contracting platforms such as Agoric, Ethereum, and Solana may be a better and more rapid path to realizing its benefits. So Zcash would be bridgeable and be able to use the same smart contracts as, I don't know what Agoric is, but as Ethereum and Solana. Crazy. So we also spent time discussing scaling. Make no mistake, we will devote our resources to scaling, but it's to be something woven into user-focused work rather than a separate and distinct effort. So they give the roadmap here. So it looks pretty interesting, man. This was like the last thing I expected out of Zcash, because I thought that, Zcash people were proof of work miners and the community would not go for it. Why? I don't know, because a lot of people, there seems to be some kind of this duality and this polarity between proof of work and proof of stake people, and the Zcash people seem pretty hardcore proof of work and proof of work loyalists, but apparently that's not the case, and they do see a practical use of proof of stakes here for their application. And for the propagation of Zcash throughout the rest of the world to make it usable. So yeah, man. That being said, interesting stuff here. I don't know. It's just stuff I was looking at last night as I was rendering out some videos, and this is my brain dump for this morning, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. And who knows what we'll be talking about. I think in the morning I'll just be talking about whatever crosses my mind, but in the evening I'll be interviewing Crypto Foo, and he's going to show me some of Foo's picks, and he definitely finds the most degen of degen opportunities out there. And while I have a little bit less of a financial risk tolerance than he does, it's really interesting to listen to some of his ideas, and he's really got me on to some really cool projects. All right, well, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.